Yo, 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 what is up, you guys? It is your boy Elijah Watts. You're back for another video here today. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I met Jake Paul. So I'm assuming that some of you guys are going to think that this is clickbait, and I just want to tell you right now that no, it is not. I am just making this video because I've been watching this Shane documentaries on Jake Paul, which are freaking amazing, by the way. They're so good. So, I don't know what it is about it, but they're just so good. And I've been watching them, and it's just made me think back to about last year when I went and I met Jake Paul, and I just wanted to tell this story. Just a little disclaimer, no, this is not about me going and seeing him at like a meetup or something. I went to his house and I met him and lots of stuff. We'll get all into that, but just wanted to let you guys know. Okay, the video commence. Oh man, okay, so this was about last year. It was October or November, I can't remember exactly, but I had met this guy while I was out filming a video in Santa Monica, and his name was Masai, and he was just out there filming. He had this really big camera, and he told me that he was filming like some extra shots for Logan Paul and stuff like that, and I didn't really believe him at the time, but I was like, okay, cool. So he wanted to get my information, so he got my Instagram, and then he tried to make me join his like new Team 10 or whatever, which isn't even happening, but I wasn't gonna do it because it was like, bro, what? Anyways, this guy hits me up one day and he says like, hey man, how are you? I'm like, I'm great, bro, how are you? And he asked me if I want to go to this party and come film some stuff at this party. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, sounds good. Where is it at? And he sent me this address, and then I click on the address, and I remember that I had seen Jake Paul's video about his new house and like how it looks and all that stuff, and so I clicked on the address, and then I typed it into Google Maps or Google Earth or whatever, where you can see like all the houses and stuff, and I saw it and I was like, I texted him and it's like, Jake's house? He says, LOL, yeah, and I was like, yeah, sure. And let me just tell you this, at the time I was not a big Jake Paul fan. I'm not like a Jake Paul fan now, but you know, I have a different opinion on him now than I did a year ago, especially after meeting him. When I first saw that, I was like, man, this guy's a total douchebag, blah blah blah, like same thing as everyone else. And then also this series helped out on my opinion a lot. It just kind of like reinstituted my beliefs on him, but yeah. Sorry I keep looking at this, but I'm staring at my Casey Neistat hot sauce. I'm gonna make a video about this at some point. So the day comes when it's time to film at Jake Paul's house, and again, I still think that this is a party that I'm just gonna go be filming at. So I drive down to Calabasas, and I end up having to park at this high school. I can't remember what it's called, but I had to park at this high school, and then this Team 10 bus pulls up right next to my car, and at the time, I didn't have like my new car that I have now. I had this like really crappy 2003 Kia Spectra. It was dents all in it, windows didn't roll down, AC didn't work, like it was a crappy car. And I was just like, oh my gosh, and I looked up at it and I just see the big Team 10 symbols on the van, and the door slides open and I see Masai sitting in the driver's seat, and then like a bunch of other, you know, good looking people in the back, and I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna fit in here. So I get out of my car and I hop in there, and just remember that Masai told me that he was like going to be, you know, filming stuff, and he was like basically in charge of everything. Turns out he was just the van driver. We'll get into that. I wanted to vlog all of this, but I wasn't allowed to film at his house, so I couldn't. There are some pictures somewhere of, probably on some people's Instagram, of us at his house, but we weren't allowed to film any video there or, you know, anything like that. We signed contracts, so I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Don't sue me, Jake Paul. So we drive like maybe 15-20 minutes away, and then we get to Jake Paul's house, and it's up at the top of this. Actually, I don't think I'll explain it to you. I think Shane already like DDoSed him, but I'm not gonna touch on that. Anyways, these gates swing open, and we drive up the driveway, and Masai stops up there, and there's like big sculpture, and then covered on the sculpture, I think it was like, there was either a Christmas tree or there was like decorations on it. I can't remember exactly, but I was just like, wow, this is freaking huge house. Biggest house I've ever seen. Like, it was enormous. And I just see through the front door, the doors are open, I just see Jake and like all the rest of Team 10 doing this music video for, I don't know, they're all dressed up like Santa Claus, and there was like this guy, green guy, and he was like the Grinch. I don't remember, but it was weird. I was like, okay, this is funny. So I saw them dancing and stuff up there, and then they all come outside and don't even greet us. Jake's just on his phone. So I walked to the back of the house, and I didn't know what else to do. And, you know, everyone else follows me. And there's probably about like 10 of us total. There wasn't a lot of people there. And so I'm just kind of just standing around, not knowing what to do, just like, okay, this is chill. And there were a bunch of snacks sitting on this, like, so there's a window here, and there's like a little ledge, and then there was a bunch of snacks and drinks up there. Nobody said that we could have any. I'm assuming we could, because I definitely went and got some fruit snacks, but nobody said we could, so I don't know. So there's a security guard standing right next to the sliding door where everyone goes in and out. And again, we had no idea. Nobody knew what we were doing there. We all thought we were coming there for a party. But what it was Jake Paul and his crew inside of the house filming videos and skits and music videos and stuff while we're all standing outside. And we were outside for, in total, maybe like 6-7 hours, man, just doing nothing. And we had no idea what was going on. It was cool being at, you know, Jake Paul's house, but still it was like, what are we doing here? And so one of the guys we were with, his name was Nick Baracco, and he was getting kind of fed up with it. And so Jake walks out of the house and he goes, hey, Jake. And Jake's, you know, kind of on his phone with his crew, and he just glances up, looks down, he's like, hey, what's up? And Nick says, hey, is there anywhere we can sit down? Because we've just been standing outside next to the window watching them do whatever they were doing the whole time. We thought we were gonna be at a party, but, you know, we were standing outside. And Jake kind of goes, that's not really my deal. Maybe someone else can get on it. Then walks back inside the house. And we kind of stood there, we're like, okay, douchebag. So just that alone is what really like made me mad about Jake Paul. Like, he wasn't like on my bad page. That right there pissed me off so bad. I don't know why, but it just made me so angry that I just never wanted to see his stupid face again. We started walking around in the backyard. Well, I started walking around, and I found like these chairs around this fire pit. And I told everyone, I was like, hey, let's go sit over here. So we sat down there, and then there was like a bunch of scripts and stuff there. And I'm assuming it was for like this video that they were filming or something. And then by this time, it's nighttime already. It's dark outside. We have been there for like 5 or 6 hours at this point. And it could have been longer, but just from what I remember, it was like 5 or 6 hours. And all of a sudden, Nick Crompton comes up and sits down, and then he's with this girl. I don't know who she was, but he sits down. Actually, was it that girl that pretended she got hit by FaZe Banks? I think it might have been her. Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. Anyways, Nick Crompton sits down right there, and he is just sitting there on his phone. I don't know why he sat down with all of us, because, you know, he's a superstar. Whatever. Nick Baracco starts talking to Nick Crompton about his clothing brand, because Nick Crompton is wearing this shirt with like a crown on it, and Nick Baracco has this clothing company called King Crown Standard, something like that. I don't remember. Anyways, he was telling him, he's like, oh yeah, maybe I should get you a sweater or something. And then that kind of like lost Nick Crompton's interest, because he was like, oh, this guy's trying to use me for clout or whatever. Which I don't know if he necessarily was, but that's what it seemed like to Nick Crompton. So Nick Crompton gets up and leaves because he feels awkward about what just happened. He goes back inside the house, and all of a sudden I see, if you guys know who Christian Del Grosso is, I was a big fan of Christian Del Grosso back on Vine. So I saw him walk inside the house, and he was like covered in these fake tattoos. I thought they were real. I was like, oh, this guy got tatted? What the heck? Looks like he's straight from prison. But he walks inside the house and goes in and starts talking to Jake, and they start filming this video. I think they like pepper sprayed their eyes or something like that, or ate some hot food, because they had their faces in the sink and they were screaming. I don't know what happened. But then there was this other guy there, I think his name is Chad, or Chad. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. There's this guy named Chad there, and he was also had like a bunch of tattoos and stuff, and he went up and was talking to Nick Baracco and this guy named Ryan Dominic, who makes music, and he ended up following them on Instagram. An hour later he unfollowed them, so they were pretty bummed about that, but that was kind of messed up for Chad to do that, right? So now we're getting to the part where I finally am meeting Jake Paul. So I see him come out, and he's with all of his crew, and all of the I don't know what to call them, workers there. They gather all of us up, and at this point there's about 20 of us, and they take us down. So there's like the backyard right here, and then, so this is the house, backyard's here, pool's that way, and then you go down a little bit lower, and there's like another level of backyard down there, and then it's like fenced off. And just let me tell you, the view was ridiculous. This is the most beautiful view I've ever seen in my life. So pretty. They took us down to that little area, and we saw this big stage. And so we're like, okay, what's going on here? And so Jake Paul and everyone gets up on stage, and then they tell us, not Jake Paul, but the workers tell us, okay, you guys are gonna be extras in this music video. And I was like, okay. And so it turns out that we were gonna be extras. And so I'm up front on the right side of the stage. So like here's the stage. Here's stage facing you. I'm over here, right here in the very front. And you can see me in the music video. It's called It's Christmas Day, Bro. And you can see like my shoulder and stuff and like my back. But yeah, I'm an extra in that music video. And so they just taught us like some of the words to the song. I can't remember now. It's Christmas Day, bro. It's Christmas Day, bro. I literally can't remember the words. But they just told us to mouth the words to the song, like pretend we know what the words are, and, you know, say like random crap, and just like, you know, get really hyped when Jake gets hyped. And there's this one point where Jake almost fell off the stage because the stage broke in and I had to catch the stage. And Jake looks at me and he says, hey, make sure you catch me if I fall. I was like, I got you, bro. And he kept looking at me all night, looking at me. And I was wondering if he was gonna like talk to me or talk to any of us. And he just seemed very entitled, very like cocky. And I know that he is obviously gonna come off that way because of who he is. But it was just like a little douchey. But you know, hopefully he's better now. I can't speak for that. It's been a year since that happened, but it was a little douchey. Anyways, we had to fix the stage and hold it up because it kept getting stomped on and getting crushed. Anyways, after we were done, they ordered Subway. And there was just a bunch of Subway sitting there. Jake and all them went and grabbed one and then took off. None of us were told we were allowed to get one, so we were just kind of standing around it starving because we haven't eaten all day. Remember, it's been like 7 hours. So we're just starving there staring at the Subway. And then the workers come over and tell us we have to go. So they start ushering us out, didn't give us any food, didn't give us any freaking thing to drink, man. Didn't get paid, like nothing. We were told we were gonna be there for a party. So it was kind of ridiculous, but they pushed us out the door. A couple people grabbed pictures with Jake. I didn't want to because I thought he was being a douche, and you know, I know people don't like getting their pictures taken all the time, you know, it's whatever. And they ushered us out, take the Team 10 van back to that school, and then get in our cars and drive home. But yeah, that was my experience with Jake Paul, and I didn't say everything that happened. Like there's a couple things I left out, but there's a lot of that experience was kind of I don't know what the right word to say is here, but lame. Mostly because they didn't like treat us well. We were standing outside in the sun for hours and hours and hours, and then it was dark, there was nowhere for us to sit, they didn't provide food or water for us, and they made us sign these contracts saying we couldn't film. Like, we were just sat there and talked for hours, man, and it sucked. We weren't allowed inside the house. They had security guards there to make sure that we stayed out. It was rough, man. It was rough. But that is my experience with Jake Paul. I just wanted to kind of tell this little story a little bit, and then, you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Jake, if you're watching this, invite me to Team 10, bro. I'll join. I'm just kidding, but seriously, I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying. But that is going to be it for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like on it. If you hated it, leave a dislike, because that still helps me out. If you guys want to comment, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you met Jake Paul. Let me know what you think of Shane's documentary, and let me know if you even watch Jake Paul or even know who he is. And then if you guys want to subscribe, you can do that by clicking down below or at the end of this video. But that's going to be it for today. I love you so much. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.